I didn't really want to be talking about 2026 design trends, but here we are. And not because I love trend lists, I really don't, but because after years of working closely with homeowners, I've started to notice that there's this shift that's happening beneath the surface. So today, I want to talk to you about what 2026 design trends are actually telling us about how we want to live in our homes and how you can incorporate them so that you don't end up with a home that looks good but doesn't feel good. So let's dive in. When I look back at the last 7 to 8 years that I have been writing blog posts on design trends every year, I've noticed a few trends about those trends. Meta trends, if you will. So today I'm going to talk about 2 of those meta trends that I've noticed, and I'm going to tell you 3 current design trends that I think you should pay attention to, and 3 trends or design choices in the past that you can leave in the past. So the first of those meta trends that I realized is that we as homeowners want our homes to support us in how we live our lives every day. Shocking, right? But this wasn't always the case. Just think about your childhood. Remember when our parents had a formal living room and a formal dining room that you barely used? Well, for a while, we haven't been doing that. That's it. That's one of the meta trends. But even the choices that we're making now are supporting more of that. So really, our homes are for ourselves. People recognize that they need to build their home to serve them every day. So here's how that's showing up in current design trends. We are seeing warmer, moodier color palettes instead of bright whites everywhere. We continue to see inspiration coming from nature. We also continue to see softer curves on furniture instead of rigid, harsh lines. What I'm noticing is that we're designing homes that makes us want to exhale at the end of the day rather than really chasing after that wow factor. Don't get me wrong, lots of people still want their home to feel like wow, but it's not at the expense of having a home that doesn't feel like a home that they can relax in. Okay, so let's talk about meta trend number 2. So what I've noticed is that we're moving away from extremes and we're really seeking out balance. So over the years, design has swung from one end of the spectrum to another end of the spectrum. So from minimalism to maximalism, or from spaces that are white mostly to high contrast and moody. These very specific, highly stylized looks work perfectly for photography for magazines, but they were hard to live in. Each of these trends definitely had their moment, but eventually people moved on to other things because it didn't feel comfortable. It kind of left them unsatisfied. So what I'm seeing right now is less about rejecting those trends, but more about softening how we use them. It's about taking what has worked about that trend and leaving behind what didn't work about it, and finding that middle ground that makes your space livable. So it's not about all or nothing approach to these design trends. It's about layering them into your home in a way that makes your space comfortable. So for example, bringing in warmth, mixing warmth into your space with a little bit of restraint so that it doesn't feel like it's gonna smother you. It's about blending the old and the new without making your space look or feel like a mishmash of stuff. It's also about choosing pieces that feels timeless to you, even if that means that that's not what we typically think of when we say timeless. So I saw an article on the Veranda magazine on a space that really embodies this idea. It's a space in New York City designed by a designer. It's his space, and it beautifully executes this idea of balance. I'll put a link to his Instagram as well as the article on Veranda so that you can check it out. So this trend that I'm talking about, or the meta trend I'm talking about, it feels like a collective move away from designing for an aesthetic moment and towards designing for longevity. And it's not because we're after boring spaces. It's because people want spaces that still feel good after the novelty wears off. You can even see this around conversations around modern farmhouse. There are a lot of people that are willing to say modern farmhouse is done. But let me tell you, I have thousands of people that take my design style quiz every year. Based on the results I see, modern farmhouse is not going anywhere. So what has changed is how that style is interpreted in homes now. We see less gray and white everywhere like we used to for like 10 years before. Now we see a lot more warmth and softness, because let's face it, we want our homes to support us in how we live every day. And that is what, to me, feeling good at home is all about. Okay, so let's get to the part that I think you're here for. You want to know what the design ins and outs are for 2026 that I think are going to be. So here are my top 3 ins. So the first is textile wall hangings and tapestries. I'm starting to see a lot of this coming back. We've done a few projects in the last couple of years where we've used tapestries and rugs on walls to create interest. So this is a trend I think that is going to stick around for a little bit, and I love it because it actually adds a lot of warmth to a space, and it's also great for managing sound in your home. The second trend that I am loving is creating our homes to feel curated over time rather than just randomly styled. So filling your home with things that you've collected over a period of time in your travels, as your family grows, you know, those pieces that mean something to you, displaying those things in your home rather than going to HomeSense and buying a whole bunch of new stuff because you want to style a space. That really is a trend that I would love for people to embrace in 2026 and beyond. The third is statement lighting. This has been the case for a while now, I think, but I think it's something that's going to continue, and we're going to see more and more statement lighting available in the marketplace. So statement lighting for a long time used to be like a chandelier, but now it's more about a floor lamp or a table lamp. So there's different ways that you can think about statement lighting. Wall sconces is another one. So when you are decorating your space, think about how lighting can show off your personality as well. Let's talk about the 3 things that I think we can leave behind in 2025. I don't want to say leave behind because in some situations these things might still work. So let's say we're ready to evolve it to the next level. So the first is millennial gray. So millennial gray, a lot of designers will say, is out. There was a time millennial gray showed up everywhere in every single Pinterest board that our clients created. It was all gray, and it was like that for a long time. But now we're seeing a lot more of warmer tones replacing that. So there is definitely a shift happening. So here's my take on this. The color gray is not the problem. It's just that everybody used it everywhere. Now that everyone is moving to something else, if you love gray, and if that gray that you love is what is going to give your home the feeling that you're after, by all means, use the gray. It's your home, it's your rules. It's you want your home to look and feel the way you want it to. And if gray is what's going to get you there, you know, that's not the wrong answer. So the second thing that I think we're ready to leave behind is boring walls. Actually, not that I think, I know we're ready to leave behind. This is something that I've been talking about for many, many, many years. Blank walls that don't have anything on them, no artwork, no texture, no wallpaper. It's boring. So it's time to leave that behind and move on to something more interesting in your home that actually reflects who you are. You know, we just talked about what's in the textile wall hangings. That might be the best way to get rid of boring walls in your home in 2026. This doesn't mean that you need to plaster artwork every inch of your walls. That's not at all what I'm saying here. It's just that instead of leaving walls blank, let's do something with them. You can hang art, you can put wallpaper on it, you can layer these things to create interest as well. There's applied moldings that you can use on your walls. So there are lots of different options on things that you can do with your walls. There is no excuse to leave the wall just bare drywall and white. The third thing that we should leave in 2025 is minimalism. If you know me, then you know I'm a big fan of more maximalist spaces than minimalist spaces, but really we are seeing this shift towards creating warmer spaces. And if you're going to create a warmer space, then it generally tends to be more towards having more stuff in the space. And it doesn't mean that you need to bring in random stuff into your space. It just means that we want to move from that very minimal, the living room with just a sofa and a coffee table, into maybe a sofa, a couple of accent chairs, a coffee table, maybe some side tables, maybe some decor, making it a more warm, interesting, inviting space. And it doesn't mean that you need to stuff the space with everything and the kitchen sink. No, it's just being more thoughtful about how you use the space and really maximizing or optimizing for how you need the space to function, having the proper furniture in there for that purpose. So here's what I want to leave you with. Design trends aren't not important. They are important because most of us want our homes to feel updated and current and relevant. What I really want you to take away from this is that things that you choose to bring home, design trends that you choose to bring home or adapt in your own home, should feel personal. And that's how you create a space that not only looks good on photos, but also feels great when you want to just hang out on the couch and spend a day at home.